In today's business landscape, customers demand the highest standard, and companies that fail to meet those standards risk falling behind and losing business. Welcome to Nexus Consultancy. We have dedicated over 15 years to helping businesses to implement ISO management systems for improved quality, compliance, operational excellence, and customer satisfaction. Our company's purpose is simple, which is to empower business and people. Our team of experts work closely with our customers to access their needs and create customized solutions that meet their specific requirements. We conduct thorough audits and evaluations to identify areas for improvement and help our customers implement changes that drive success. Our consultants have extensive experience and serve over 2,000 customers, and we stay up to date with the latest industry trends and best practices. Whether you're a small business just starting out or a large corporation looking to improve your operations, Nexus Consultancy is here to help you optimize your operations, increase profits, and achieve your business goals.
Good morning, everyone. And hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Can you see my screen? And can you hear me? If you can hear me and you can see my screen, can you give me a thumbs up? Yes, thank you, Shirley. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much, Saim. Thank you very much, everyone, for your response. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. So welcome to our webinar today, which is to build a strong food safety and quality culture. I'm the host today. My name is Chloe. So once again, thank you for the time to join our webinar with us in this afternoon. And for information, this webinar actually will take around 1 hour. Okay, so before we start today's webinar, just have some heads up about food safety and quality culture. Okay, so I would say actually currently food safety and quality culture is one of the hottest topic in food industry. Yeah, for example, currently FSSC 2000 version 6 also has officially put food safety and quality culture as one of the requirements, okay, in the standards. But so why this food safety and quality culture is so popular and is the hottest trend that I mentioned just now? Yeah, so actually, according to FDA, right, okay, which has reported that 2/3 of the restaurants' outbreak were caused by the infected personnel handling food. All right. Additionally, okay, most of the foodborne illnesses are also strongly associated with the food handlers, as the attitudes and cultures in their workplace can influence the working style and also the behavior, in which actually it can it is one of the main reasons why there is this outbreak, food poisoning outbreak, and also why there is these food infections over there. All right, so that's why food safety and quality culture, I would say, is one of the topic that we need to be very focus on nowadays. I would say food safety and quality culture is very important to prevent foodborne illnesses, all right? And also it is the one that can help, okay, the organizations to build and maintain the consumer trust, which is essential for the long-term success. Okay, so before I start talk about food safety and quality culture, let's take a look on these 3 factors that can help, okay, from to form the positive culture. So what is that? Actually, the first of all is employee awareness, company culture, and lastly is food safety management system. All right. So what is this food safety and quality culture that can help us? For example, we need to create the employee awareness. So how can we enhance employee awareness on food safety? So for example, we can involve them. Okay, for example, involve the employees, involve all levels of the employees in the decision making, such as, for example, okay, you can let them join in the discussion. For example, when you want to establish a new SOP, a new procedure, actually you can let the employees to join, to work together, to make the informed decisions, to make the SOP that benefit the team and also the company. So this is one of the ways Second way, okay, to how to enhance employee awareness, actually we can choose surveys, okay. So this survey actually is more towards to listen, okay, to the employee opinions and also their suggestions. So actually as a management, right, we want to value employee insights and we want to listen to their thoughts on food safety. So for example, we can conduct some regular surveys, okay, and also some questionnaires to gather the feedback anonymously, okay, ensure everyone feels comfortable to share their opinions. This is very important because somehow some of the employees they feel that, oh, I fill in the survey, then after that you come and look for me if I write something bad. No. So actually from here, right, actually when they put in their survey or they put in their feedback, right, we can ask them to put their names as anonymous. Yeah. So actually this can allow you to tailor your approach to employee needs and also the concern. Yeah. So this is second way that we can enhance the employee awareness. Thirdly, how can we enhance employee awareness? Actually, we can through ongoing updates. What does it mean, ongoing updates? So over here, mentioned here, ongoing updates actually is relevant to the knowledge, okay? And we want to keep everyone updated on the knowledge. For example, you can keep them informed on what's going on in the system. Like for example, you can regularly schedule updates on the food safety protocols, keep them updated on the best practices. Perhaps you also can keep them updates on those, for example, food safety cases that happening in the worldwide. Okay, so through this regular update, you can actually ensure transparency because transparency is also the key in maintaining trust. And employee they can be confident in the safety measures they have in place as well. All right, and the fourth method to enhance employee awareness actually is by giving constructive feedback to our employees. Okay, like for example, you can embrace the culture of continuous improvement by giving regular feedback to the employees. Okay, over here mentioned is called regular feedback, not only once a year, because you need to keep on giving them feedback to highlight what is the area of excellence, where is the area that they need to improve. So this is one of the way that we can do to enhance the employee awareness. Okay, so actually employee awareness, right, is not something new. I would say actually in ISO 9000, ISO 22000 version 2018, actually in clause 7.3, they also got mentioned about this awareness, in which everyone, okay, they need to understand what is their contribution to this food safety management system. Everyone will have the role in this food safety management system. It's not only one person role in maintaining or enhancing the food safety management system, and everyone they also need to know what is their implication if they didn't conform with the food safety management system requirements. So this is the one. That is the one of the way that the employee, the top management, they can do, okay, to enhance the employee awareness. All right. So second big method is, okay, actually we as a top management or senior management, okay, we also can enhance the company culture. Okay, so I would say company culture is something very important because we need to make someone listen or do what they're supposed to do, but not only once but consistently. So actually what they can do is actually you can through this company culture to enhance, okay, their attitude, okay, so that they can do whatever you want them to do. So when we see this definition of company culture, right, actually it refers to the attitudes and behaviors of a company and its employees, in which in a way on organizations interact with each other, the values they hold and the decisions they make. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand what is culture. When we mention about culture, right, okay, I would say that this one actually is a belief, okay, or the values, or we can say it's the policies followed, okay, in which it can form a culture. Okay, it can decide, okay, the way in the individual interact with each other and also how they behave. For example, right, okay, you tell them, oh, you don't put the things or the food on the floor. Actually, if you don't tell them, okay, why the reason behind they can't put the food on the floor, right? Actually, but how many times you tell them, they also won't understand the reason behind. So that's why over here is where the top management or senior management need to build up the culture. All right. Over here, I have some examples of culture that I want to introduce to you. So these are that four cultures are being introduced by Robert and also Kim, okay, by from University of Michigan. They have investigated, okay, these culture that we can establish in our organizations. Like for example, clean culture, autocracy culture, hierarchy culture, and also market culture. So what is clean culture? Clean culture actually is those emphasizing on the collaboration across the teams and the horizontal structure. And autocracy culture actually is a culture that can allows the individuals to share ideas and also encourages the companies to take risks. Okay, another one is called market culture. Market culture actually is a culture that focuses on financial success and how each employee contributes to revenue. And lastly is hierarchy culture. So hierarchy culture is a culture that can emphasizes on the career path and provides a clear managerial processes. Okay, so these are that four cultures introduced by Robert and also Kim. And next one, these are some of the other types of company culture, such as purpose culture, coaching culture, accountability culture, and also learning culture. Okay, so here are some of the example of culture that I would like to share with you. Other than company culture, actually here is another one which is called food safety management system. All right, so food safety management system, I would say, is a set of interrelated or interacting elements of an organization to establish the policies and objectives and also processes to achieve those processes. Those are objective. So what are those food safety management systems that you can build up? Like for example, FSSC 22000, BRCGS, ISO 22000, or even HACCP. Okay, you also can build up. Okay, the food. Some of the example of food safety management system. Okay, so here with this food safety management system, employee awareness, and also company culture, you can build a healthy food safety and quality culture in which employees, the managers, and also the leaders, they will feel personally committed to the food safety. Okay, they will do the right thing even though when no one is watching. So like I give you the sample just now. I give you the sample like for example, you tell the employees to not put the food on the floor. Okay, so actually like for example, if there's QA there, maybe they will do good because they know that QA tell me not to put food on the floor. So actually if you have a healthy or very strong food safety and quality culture, right, everyone have the same belief, everyone have the same values, everyone have the same norms. Okay, actually that can affect the mindset and also behavior in them, okay, towards the food safety. So they will actually automatically know that I cannot put food on the floor is because of food safety. So this is not something that in which we need to build on one person only or in one department only. I would say that food safety and quality culture is something that you need to build across and also throughout an organization. And I would say that a strong company culture can help to create and also sustain that commitment. And over time, good food safety practices and becomes the normal way of doing things. So like I mentioned to you just now, it's not something that I need to keep on chase after you. So people will automatically know that this is something that they need to do. And this is something that they do it normally. Yeah. So this is all about food safety and quality culture. Okay, so actually I would say that I mentioned to you food safety and quality culture in which is to encourage people to change their behavior. But then to change somebody behavior is not, I would say that it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Then here comes the role of the senior or top management to create a motivated environment so that people can take the specific action. So as example, you can see here this food safety high fire actually is one of the event, or I can say it's one of the poster being created by this company called Walmart. Okay, so Walmart actually they are very concerned on this food safety culture to foster the employee awareness. So that's why they come up with this food safety high five. Okay, in which design to help in casual manner everyone in easily understanding the 5 essential points of food safety. So this is one of the way on how we can enhance our food safety culture. All right. Okay, so just now talking about food safety management system, right? Okay, I would say that in recent years there have been increasing emphasis on within the industry on strengthening food safety culture by using the food safety management system. Okay, so actually no matter GFSI recognized or non-GFS recognized standards, they are currently very focusing on this food safety and quality culture. So as you can see here, BRCGS they talk about this food safety culture. And then FSSC 2000, they also mentioned about this food safety culture as well. Other than the GFSI recognized standards, I will say that those non-GFSI recognized standards, for example, this GHP Codex Alimentarius, they also mentioning about awareness of the employee, which actually is related to food safety and quality culture as well. Okay, and next one, I would like to introduce to you for those GFSI guidance document, they have been mentioned very clearly in which when you want to establish the system right, you need to have evidence of the senior management commitment to establish, to implement, to maintain and continuously improve the food safety management system. So here comes the 4 elements of the food safety culture that you need to have. Okay, so what is that 4 minimum elements that you need to have? Firstly is communication. Secondly is training. And thirdly is feedback from the employees. And number 4 is performance measurement on food safety related activities. So later we will see this. Okay, what is these 4 elements that you need to have when you want to establish the evidence of the management commitments? So other than the GFSI, okay, like I mentioned to you, those non-GFSI standards, like for example, Codex Alimentarius, HACCP, they also were focusing on this food safety culture, in which they mentioned that this food safety culture actually it starts from the roles of competent authorities, food business operators, and also the consumers. Okay, so what you need to do is ensure personnel that are competent as appropriate to their job activities. Okay, so that's why perhaps you can come up with a job description to describe what are the things that they need to do, what is their responsibilities, what is their authorities in this food safety management system, and then you can build a positive food safety culture by demonstrating, okay, their commitment to provide, okay, safe and also suitable food and encouraging the appropriate food safety practices. All right, and then after that, in Codex Alimentarius under clause 5.1, they also got mentioning about this management commitment to the food safety, in which, okay, to have a successful, okay, functioning of any food hygiene system is the establishment and maintenance of the positive food safety culture. For example, you can have a good leadership to set the right direction and to engage all the personnel in the food safety practices. Other than that, you also can create awareness of the importance of food hygiene by all personnel in the food business. And lastly, you can come up with open and clear communication tools among all personnel in the food business. Okay, for example, the communication of any deviations, communication of any expectations from the management. So this is one of the way that we can do so that everyone they have the commitment on this food safety. Alright, so comes into GFSI recognized standards like for example BRCGS. So actually under BRCGS, Food Safety Issue number 9, clause 1.1, senior management commitment and continual improvement, okay, in which they mention that the senior management you shall define and maintain a clear plan for the development and continuing improvement of a food safety quality culture. So what you need to do, in which you need to come up with an action plan, okay? You need to come up with an action plan which indicate how the activities will be undertaken and measured and the intended time scales. Like for example, you can come up with a KPI or you can set a target so that everyone they have the same direction, okay? They have the same target, okay? So that they can work towards that. And of course, you need to have a review plan of the effectiveness of the completed activities. Other than GFSI, I would say the reason, okay, of the changes of this FSSC 2000 with this latest version 6, under the clause 2.5.8. Okay, so what is the auditors expecting for this, for those who were certified to FSSC 2000? They actually would expecting the management to cultivate a positive food safety and quality culture. By how is the way that you can cultivate? Like for example, you can implement and maintain a food safety and quality culture objective. So what are that objective? What are those that you can do with? Actually, you can establish the objective by using that 4 minimum element. So what is that 4 element I mentioned to you? For example, communication, training, employee feedback and engagement, and lastly is the performance measurement of the defined activities. So you can come up with a target, or we can say a KPI based on these 4 criteria, or can say these 4 elements. And each of the objectives that you have set, actually you need to come up with a plan. Okay, that plan you need to include what is the actions required, what is the resources required, what is the timelines required, and remember that okay, this food safety and quality culture objective you need to review in your management review yearly. Okay, at least yearly to review it. What is the achievement of your food safety and quality culture? Okay, so that you have a continuous improvement of the management system. Okay, so here comes the next, which is about ISO 22000. So you can see here, this is some of the clauses in ISO 22000. Actually, this is related to the communication, related to training, and also related to feedback from the employees as well as the measurement. All right. Other than that, you can see here, FSSC 2000 actually they also have established a guidance document which is related to food safety and quality culture. If you have an interest on this, actually you can go to FSSC 2000 official website to have a look on this guidance document. Yeah. So basically, these are some of the standards, or would say the requirements which is established by the food safety management system on how to establish or how to come up with a food safety and quality culture. Okay, yeah. So next we will have a little quiz with you all. Okay, so actually this quiz is to see okay how it's actually about a case scenario. Okay, it's a case scenario. So I'd like to invite you all to join the quiz. Okay, to join the quiz with us, and then we do the quiz together, and then to see how's the understanding of everyone in this food safety and quality culture. Scan the QR code, or actually you can see there's a link in the chat box. You can go to the link there to join the quiz that we have here. Let's have a fun quiz here. Thank you very much. I can see you are joining now.
Born Dr. Lion, Lynn. Free Lady Lion. Street. Dr. IQ, Anna, Addy, Brother Lucky Man, Flower, Mr. Flower, Lady Dr. Raymond, Norhardy, Mama Fast, Sound Seaboat, Haunted Student, Haunted Boat, Haunted Flower, Sister Student, Soon WK, No, Lady Mama Boy, Hacker, Love
Everyone very
Police,
cute.
Haunted Girl,
Yeah.
Zaza, Bouncy Ice, Noah, Unlucky Lion.
Alright, everyone has joined the quiz. Shall we start the game?
Lucky Data, LC, Random Man, Ghost,
Okay, yeah. So let's start the game. You can
Mr.
read this
Flower,
script
Haunted
and then
Fast.
see what is the result. Alright, so let's start the game.
Quiz.com, play and create.
An operator skips a cleaning step during rush hour to meet a production target. Would this pass the audit?
So what's the answer? Yes or no for this? Yeah. Okay, 41%, 43%, 44. Answer this.
No.
I'm gonna do two more. What's the answer? Will this pass the audit? Wow, congratulations to
A new
everyone.
staff member notices a mistake
one.
but is afraid to raise it. Would the auditor flag this as a culture issue?
Love Boy joined.
It's a yes or no question as well. What do you think? Yeah, some more? Thank you for your answer.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, it's
House phone joined.
after they reflect as a culture issue because they also mentioned about attitude. So congratulations.
Mohammed Taufik bin Abdul
Really,
joined.
and the fastest one to answer the questions. Alright, now we
A
go.
near miss was corrected, but never recorded. Acceptable in audit?
No well. Wow, I think fast as well.
No.
Yeah. No, this is not applicable in audit. Yeah, because they also need to if there's anything happen, you need to consider actions. Well, congratulations to me as well. You're the fastest to answer this question also. Wow, very fast, huh?
Training attendance is 100%, but floor behavior doesn't reflect learnings. Will this impact you?
Quick Queen joined.
Yes or no question, Coco? Now see who's the fastest one.
Yes.
Yes, okay, yeah. So actually this one also can affect your audit. Because actually what they want is they want to record it down. Wow, congratulations Lynn as well, you're the fastest one also. Wow. Okay, so comes the last question.
Final question.
Final
Double
question.
point.
Double points, yes.
A QA leader only conducts walkabouts during pre-audit weeks. Is this a flag for weak leadership visibility?
It's a yes, no question also. Wow, everyone is answering. We have another few more minutes for you to answer.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So actually, I would say that walk about is not something that you need to do once, and walk is something that you do regularly. Wow. So who is the highest?
Third place.
Who is the
Hadi.
highest?
Second place. Anna.
Hadi. Congratulations to Hadi.
And the winner is
Congratulations to
Lynn.
Anna. Yeah. And first place goes to Lynn. Yeah. Congratulations. Okay. So I would like to thank everyone for joining this quiz with us. Okay. So actually, this 5 quiz actually is talking about the case scenario and what you do. Okay. If there's any situations happen in that way, okay, will it be applicable in the audit? Alright, so thank you everyone for your joining. Okay, so here we will go to continue our presentation, our slides. Okay, we have done our quiz. So next, now we go into 5 simple steps to create a food safety and quality culture plan. So I will introduce to you these 5 steps. What is these 5 steps? When it comes to the company culture, okay, actually who plays the very important role, the most important role? Yeah, so actually the one who plays a very important role in this food safety and quality culture, I would say that actually is the leaders or the senior management plays the most significant role. To maintain a strong food safety cultures, I would say that leaders must not only show their commitment by their own words and also by their own actions. They also need to make sure, okay, that their company policy, okay, their systems, their processes, also facilitate a good food safety decisions and also behavior at all levels. All right, so that's why I would say first step that you need to do when you want to create a food safety and quality culture plan is where the role of leaders to set the vision, to set mission that can support food safety goals. All right, to set the food safety goals. So here are also some of the examples of leaders that they can demonstrate their commitment in the food safety. All right, so this is the first step. Now we go into the second steps. Okay, second steps actually is talk about people. Okay, how do we manage the people? People that I mentioned here actually is refers to the stakeholders or refer to those interested parties in the ISO standards. Okay, so who are those stakeholders in this context? All right, so stakeholders that I will mention here actually is refers to everyone. Okay, everyone across all aspects of the supply chain, both within, inside, and also outside, okay, of the company, who can supply, okay, who support, and also can influence the company. For example, who is your stakeholders? Okay, who is your interested parties? Like for example, the suppliers, the customers, all right, the top management, or even the workers, the production line people, or even those driver, okay, the maintenance crews, okay, they are also considered your stakeholders. Everyone, okay, I would say that they are the one who can influence your team, your company. They are the one who can influence the food safety in your company. So that's why, okay, when you want to have a strong food safety culture, you need to manage the expectations of all stakeholders and share the knowledge in terms of the food safety goals. Okay, you need to share with them, okay, what is their responsibilities. You need to share with them what is their accountability in their roles so that they can maintain a good food safety standards, and then they can work together to achieve those objectives. Okay, so do you manage it? Okay, actually you can through this governance. Okay, governance means that you can set up with rules, you can set up with practices and also processes which can use to direct and also manage a company. I would say that food safety actually is something that you can embed and you should embed within the organization's governance structure. And it is very important to establish standards that align with the global food industry best practices, like for example, FSSC 2000, BRCGS, and also HACCP. Okay, so when you want to set up food safety governance, right, you need to cover elements like, for example, organizational structures and also accountabilities, policies and standards, and also you can come up with the risk and issues management. And actually, this is some of the example to you. You are recommended to have a whistleblowing policy as well. Okay, as a part of your company's communication program. Okay, you can actually educate your employees on what they need to do to communicate their ethical concerns to the appropriate persons. All right. For example, if you see something else okay happen in your organizations or in your production line which is related to food safety and quality, actually you need to train them okay or educate them that they are the one who need to report to the management when this kind of issues happen. Okay, so this is the second steps that you can do, which is to manage the people. Okay, and I will say that okay, another important factor in building a food safety culture is communication. Yeah, you can see here this one actually is we call communication silo. Communication silo okay means that okay group of departments that talk only among themselves. Okay, they don't consider the overarching goals of the business. Okay, or when people they don't share information with other departments or party they are dealing with. Okay, means that they only talk within themselves. People actually outside or people with in the other department actually they don't know what you are doing. They don't understand. So this is an example of communication silo. And I would say that communication silo is one of the bigger challenge right, in most of the company. Yeah, I can observe it. Actually, it's called communication silo. All right. Another one that you can do on how to manage people, actually, you can give incentive, a recommendation, and recognition and also reward. For example, you can pair with those fair and transparent recognition programs, which can help the management to get desired food safety behaviors. Okay, you can come up with you can guide them to give positive and also negative feedback. Okay, and other than that, right, actually, you also can encourage them to share the demonstrated practices. Like for example, right, one person they have a good practice, they can practice the best practice or practice a good practice. Actually, as a top manager, we can give some recognitions to the employee, and then you can share the practices that this employee doing to the rest of the employee, so that everyone they do the same thing. Okay, everyone is do the same thing they are, and you can see that actually they are very happy on that. Yeah. So other than that, actually, what other things that you can do is we also can give some individual and also team awards. Okay, like for example, corporate and peer self-recognition, monetary and time compensation, or incentive. Okay, to report failure and near misses, or perhaps you also can introduce promotion. Okay, to the team. Okay, so that they are aware of that. Okay, so this is the second things that we can do when we want to create food safety and quality culture plan. Okay, now we go to the third steps. Okay, when it comes to the third steps, okay, which is called make change. Okay, make change. I would say that changes is something very frequent. Okay, in the organization, changes is very frequent in organization. So when you want to consider to make change, right? Okay, you need to make sure that the changes that you make is consistently aligned with the food safety, which should prioritize with the people, with technology, with resources, and also with the processes. All right. So I would say that make change is talking about consistently, okay, consistently implementing the plan. But the question is, who is the one who responsible to make the change? Who is the one who responsible to make the change? When we ask this question, right? Okay, who is responsible for food safety in your company? I know that actually maybe there is a lot of people that will answer, oh, the one who responsible for food safety definitely is my QA department. Okay, it's not QA department. I would say that to make a sustainable change, okay, not only QA department needs to involve. Actually, we need to get everyone involved. We need to get everyone to take this responsibility in food safety, and everyone need to have that very important mindset, which is actually food safety is not only one person job. It's not only one person job. Food safety actually is everyone's job. Okay, everyone's job. So that's why, right? I believe that in your organization, okay, maybe you have already created food safety team. Food safety team. So you can see that food safety team is not only QA is inside. It's not only QA inside who lead the team. Then that's all. Actually, food safety team in which we need to let other department to join. Like for example, you can let the production to join. You can let the maintenance team to join. You can let, for example, the steward team to join. You also can let, for example, HR team to join, procurement team to join, or even the facility team to join. So this everyone joining to the team actually means that everyone has the responsibility in this food safety. Because one person they cannot change the world. We need everyone to get on board. So that's why we need to have food safety team. And this is the mindset shift number 3, which is food safety is everyone's job. So this is some of the example. Who is the one who need to be who is the one who accountable for the food safety? For example, senior management. Senior management, what are their accountability to? They are the one who need to define the culture. They are the one who want and grow it by doing things like setting the food safety goals. Okay, they are the one who set the food safety strategies. They are the one who set the KPI. Okay, that puts food safety culture building at top of the list. That's why we can say culture is something that we can build from top to bottom. It's something that we can do, okay, from top to bottom to support and advance the company's purpose and also core values. Okay, the next one is, like I mentioned to you, food safety team. Okay, food safety, everyone, okay, in the food safety team, we need to make sure that, okay, we have facilitate and enforcement of the food safety culture. For example, we can establish and organize training programs, establish and implement food safety performance management system. Like for example, we give rewards, we give us some recognitions. Okay, and next one is the middle management. So middle management, like for example, who? Like for example, those managers. Okay, so managers also very important in this food safety as well. But how? Okay, they are the one who need to show support in food safety management system. They are the one who need to put the culture plans into action. This is very important. Even though we have a very successful, we have a very beautiful plan. Okay, we have something very nice plan, we plan it very well, but then if we didn't put it down into actions, right, actually I would say that the plan doesn't work. Okay, the plan doesn't work. We need to make every employee to buy into the culture that you want to, and make sure that the employees do their part to build the food safety culture. Okay, and lastly is the employees. Okay, so what is the roles of employee in this food safety? Okay, so they are the one who need to provide feedback. They are the one who need to provide feedback to the senior management, okay, on how to define the desired food safety culture and how to build it through programs and tactics. So that's why, okay, I can introduce to you. You can come up with the food safety question A or food safety survey, okay, so that they can put in their feedback, okay, put in their feedback, or put in their let's say if they have any things that they want to feedback to the management. So here comes the way that we can do that. Okay, so in which, okay, they are the one who you need to make sure that they are enforcing the routines and norms that reflect the culture that want. Okay, as well as making sure the attitudes and actions match the culture that you want. Okay, so that's why I can say here everyone in the organizations, they are accountable for the food safety. Now we come to the next one. Okay, this is the step number 4. Step number 4, I would say actually is to measure the performance. Measure the performance. What does it mean, measure the performance? Let's say, for example, let's imagine we continue doing our things every day, okay, but without measuring how well we're doing it. Actually, we are not able to know how far we are from the goal we want to achieve and what we need to do so that we can close the gap. So without any measurement, right, there will be no inputs, there will be no information, and we are considered as a blindfolded and wandering in the dark. So measuring the important indicators that contribute to the food safety, we are able to gain the clarity on how are we doing in food safety and whether the objective that we set actually we have achieved or not. So that's why we can measure food safety KPI achievement. Like for example, we can set, for example, CCP monitoring results, how many deviation, how many percent, pest control trend analysis, and also product rejections. So by doing that, actually we are able to know that whether we have do our job well or not. Okay, and actually we also can, through this performance measurement, we can make things better when needed. Okay, it's like keeping an eye on how are we doing and giving a thumbs up when we are doing great or fixing things when we need to. Okay, so here are some of the examples. Okay, you can set food safety and food safety culture and also food safety and quality culture objective, which is aligned with the food safety policy. Okay, so with the objective, we are able to monitor in accordance with the defined food safety policies, expectations, and also requirements. And also with this objective, we can see whether there is any improvement in your food safety culture. Alright, so here are some of the measurements, or we can say the elements that you can come up with. So still remember just now at the beginning, we're mentioning about the 4 minimum elements that we need to establish. What's that? That is communication, training, employee engagement, and also feedback. And lastly is performance measurement. So like I mentioned to you, when you come up with the objective, right, you set the target that you want, you also need to come up with a food safety and quality culture plan. What is the plan, okay, for you to achieve the objective? What is the action required? What is the resources required? Who is the one responsible on that? And what is the time frame for you to achieve the objective? So here comes just some example for you. For example, for communication, you can set, like for example, how many times of meetings that you can conduct about this food safety in a year, for example. And for training, perhaps you also can set objective such as how many training that you want to conduct about this food safety and quality this food safety and quality training that you can conduct to your staff. Okay, within a year or within a month, you can set a timeline like that. Okay, and then after that, for employee engagement or feedback, you also can come up with a objective or come up with a target which is related to how many percent of your employee they give you the feedback, okay, yearly. So you can set some target, something like that. And lastly, performance measurement. You also can come up with a target. For example, you set how many percent, okay, of product, how many percent, okay, of the product rejection that you can have within a year. So this is also some of the example of objective, or we can say it's a target that you can come up with, okay, which is related to this food safety and quality culture. All right, make sure that when you come up with the culture objective, right, you have the monitoring report. And then you have a summary report to see whether you have achieved or you didn't achieve the objective. Okay, then now we come to the 5th steps, okay, which is the last steps. Okay, after you have created a vision, mission, you know how to manage people, you make all the changes, like for example, the document changes, everything, and then after that you come up with an objective. And step number 5 actually is about review. Step number 5 is review. Okay, review is about looking back on what you have planned and executed, and also find out what needs to be changed or improved. Okay, I would say that after you do the plan, right, the plan, you can't use it for forever, or you can't use the plan for the next 10 years. I would say that you need to keep on constantly review the plan to see whether you have did it correctly or not. Okay, and if there's any things that you think that we didn't do it correctly, then you need to quickly respond to it, and then you can change it, and then you can improve it. So that's where review is very important when we want to create our food safety and quality culture plan. Yeah, so here is overall that 5 simple steps, okay, to help you to create a food safety and quality culture plan. Well, okay, I will say that every company, we have our own way of doing things. Okay, for example, we have our own company culture. But I would say that company culture is not, it cannot be constant. It needs to be keep on changes with time, because with the new management, perhaps changes in the organizations, or perhaps they have some new clients or new customers, they have the new customer requirements. Yeah, so that's why you can use these 5 steps to implement a food safety culture and make the changes or to make the adjustment whenever needed. Okay, so here comes to the setbacks. Okay, so the culture of the organizations, I would say that it's not something to form in a single day. It's something that you need to keep on day by day. You need to do. It's something that we say is a cumulative outcome of the interaction among the employees and their behavioral patterns at their workplace. It's not something that I do one day then is enough. It's something that we need to keep on doing it. It's something that we say is a continuous. It's something that is continuous, in which of culture is formed. Okay, when individuals they follow certain values and adhere to the guidelines over a considerable period of time. Yeah, so problems could arise when a new employee steps into the shoes of the existing one and then they take charge. Maybe they can bring in the new ideas, they bring the new plans of actions and new concepts along with them, and thus problems okay for the existing employees. And then so that's why they tend to hire their own people and eventually sideline the current employees. So how do you do that? That's why in which we need to come up with a we can make sure that everyone have a proper SOP, and then we can follow the SOP that we have set. Okay, and we don't limit the new ideas. Okay, when we do things here, I would say that change is very frequent and change is very common in an organization. Okay, and there's no culture which is more important than the employees. Employees, I would say they are the true cultures of an organization. All right. Okay, so before we end the webinar today, I have some things to show you all. I'm not sure whether you have seen this before or not. Yeah, these are we consider is the behaviors or attitudes or practices that we commonly see in our food industry, or perhaps okay in our production area. So I would like to ask you all, if you are the one who see these attitudes or see these practices in your organizations or in your production line, okay, what are the things that you do? You can type in your action that you would take in the chat box. If you're the one who see these actions or you see these practices in your organizations, in your workplace, okay, what are the things that you will do? What are the things that you will do if you see this kind of situations? Is it you will report, ask food handler to wear PPE? Good, thank you very much. Hadi, ask food handler to wear PPE. I think you're referring to the left side. Okay, you're measuring these pictures, right? Yes, of course, immediately you must ask the food handler to wear the PPE. For example, the glove. Glove is very important. I would say that glove is the one that you can prevent all those for example, those Staphylococcus aureus to being contaminated to your food. Okay, provide food handler training. Yes, this is a must. I will say that before they start their work, food handler training is one of the way. Okay, in which they need to have. Yeah, thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay, and next one, Fazana mentioned about put aside before entering or handling a food. Okay, good. Yeah, actually, this is a very good one. Actually, you can, I think the team or the management team, you can create a poster. Okay, you can come up with a very nice poster, and then in that poster, you can mention what are the things that you need to do before you enter, okay, into the food production line. For example, you need to wear PPE, you need to wear hand net, and then after that, you need to wear your glove before you handling any ready to eat food. Yes, correct. Thank you, Fazana. How about the rest? Okay, if you are the one who see this kind of practices, what are the things that you will do? Okay, I think just now, Hadi, Evelyn, Shirley, Fazana, you are mentioning about the left-hand side. Okay, the one that they cut. I mean the food without putting the glove, right? Okay, good. Then how about the rest? As leader, show worker a good practice they will follow. Yes, that's why. Thank you, Suhala. You get the point. Okay, you get the point. Yeah, I would say that actually everyone, okay, especially the leaders, they are the one who need to show the good practices before you ask your staff or your subordinates to do. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's why I say food safety culture is something that we need to cultivate from top to bottom. It starts from the leader first. Yes, good, very well. Thank you, Suhaila. Yeah, and then Daphne Jo, use tools, spoon, spatula to stir or add ingredients into food. Yes, correct. Just to share with you, previously when I have audit with, I mean, in certain and in certain area, right? Okay, I can see there are practices like, for example, they want to taste, okay, they want to taste the food that they prepare, right? Then they will use their own fingers to taste, or maybe they use spoon, okay, they use the spoon to taste, and then after that they didn't wash the spoon, and then after that they put the spoon again into the soup, okay, to taste again. Yeah, so I would say that this is a real situation that I have seen before. Yeah, so this one actually is something that as a management in which we need to report, or perhaps we are the one who need to train our staff or to tell them this is something that I'm not supposed to do. Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Pure, on your feedback over here. Correct, use the correct tools. Amira, okay, mentioned about use food operated rubbish bin to avoid touching bin with hands. Yes, I would say that this is a must. Okay, in the production area, definitely you must use a hand-operated rubbish bin. Like Arma mentioned, use a foot-operated rubbish bin to avoid touching bin with the hands. If I'm the one who want to throw the rubbish, right? If this is a hand-operated rubbish bin, I need to use my hand to open the rubbish bin, and then after that, I use my hand to touch my foot. Okay, you can see there is a cross-contamination there. Yeah, good. Thank you, Amira. Okay, Mike mentioning about dispose the affected food, guide them the correct practices such as wear PPE, and also give further training after the incident. Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. You get the point, Mike. Yeah. So like you mentioned, just what they need to do, like if for example you see this case, immediately ask them to dispose it. This is a correction, immediate action required to take. And then after that, how do you make sure that they didn't do the same things again? For example, you can guide them, you can give them training, you can give them on-the-job training, okay, to guide them. Yeah, thank you very much, Mike, on your feedback over here. Lastly, okay, Hadi also mentioned conduct annual microbe test on food handling practice for verification activity. Okay, yes, correct. Yeah, verification activity. Yeah, you can include microbe test. Perhaps you can come up with a periodical microbe test. You can come up with a periodic testing plan. Like how, for example, you can set 1 year. Okay, I want to send how many samples out, okay, to the lab to test, okay, so that I know that, okay, now I have implemented well or not, okay, I have controlled well or not for my food safety. Yes, correct. Yeah, Hadi, yeah, you can do that, of course. Okay, thank you very much for all your feedback. Okay, so before we end today's today webinar, right, I will say that actually here comes to our Q&A section. Okay, Q&A session. I would like to ask everyone in the webinar, any questions that you would like to ask about this food safety and quality culture? Thank you, Hadi, for your question just now. Yeah, about the verification activity to conduct the microbe test. I will say yes, you can do that. Okay, to see whether you have practiced it well or not. Okay, how about the rest? Do you have any other questions that you want to ask about this food safety and quality culture? How to establish food safety quality culture? Okay, Yusuf, thank you for your questions. Okay, how to establish food safety and quality culture? I would say that first of all, you need to come up with a plan. Okay, you need to come up with a food safety plan. Like for example, you can come up with you can set a food safety policy. Okay, and then you can come up with food safety and quality culture objective. Yeah, Yusuf, you're asking about how to establish food safety and quality culture objective, is it? If you want to establish food safety and quality culture objective, actually you can refer to just now the one we mentioned, that 4 minimum elements to help you to establish the food safety and quality culture objective. So what are that 4 minimum elements? Communication, training, okay, performance measurement, and then employee engagement and feedback. So you can base on these 4 elements to come up with your own objective, the target that you can set. So you can at least minimum 1 objective for each of the elements. Like for example, communication, you can set like for example how many minimum frequency Okay, you need to conduct food safety meeting. And then, like, for example, training, you can set a frequency, how frequent you need to conduct, or how many training that you need to conduct in a year, which is related to food safety and quality. And then employee feedback, okay, you also can set how many percentage or how many employee that need to give you feedback related to food safety and quality in a year. And lastly is you can set, for example, employee, for example, the performance measurement. You also can set something like you can set, for example, how many percent that you can score in an audit. So this one is the objective that you can set when you want to establish an objective for food safety and quality culture. Okay. Any other questions that you would like to ask before we end the webinar today? Theo, will the presentation slides for today's sessions be provided to us? You would like to have this presentation slides? Let me. Yes, we can. We will provide you the slides after the webinar. Yeah, but it's in a PDF format lah. Yeah. Darren, we have invested in training, but there's little change in staff behavior or mindset. What are the common gaps between training and culture impact? Okay, good questions, Darren. Okay, so actually about this, right? Okay, there are some of the common gaps, okay, between training and food safety culture impact. Like for example, they see training as a one-off, not an reinforcement process. As what I mentioned to you, training is not something that we can do one-off only. It's something that we need to keep on do. Okay, in which we need to keep on follow up. We can give some refresher training. Okay, and we can fix, like for example, have a simple daily reminders so that we can keep on. Okay, keep on implement our food safety and quality culture. The next one is, it could be, for example, there's no practical connection to the real world. Okay, so like for example, if you give training which is too theoretical, too generic, it doesn't actually related to the actual day-by-day practices, so it won't stick. So how actually we can give them, for example, we can give them feedback after training, and perhaps we can make the SOP which is relevant to what they're doing. All right, and then other than that, I think it could be because of lack of accountability structures. Okay, so without a clear expectations, monitoring, and consistent consequences, actually I would say that the behavior won't change. So what we can do is we can set very clear expectations and also implement simple behavior audits or spot checks. Okay, so that it can have a better accountability structures. All right. Okay, yeah. And some of the objectives seems to be overlapping with the food safety and quality objective. Can both be combined under one plan? Yeah, Nguyen, you get the point. Yes, correct. Actually, yeah, we can combine under one plan. Yeah, because some of the food safety culture or quality, food safety and quality objective, right? Okay, you also mentioned, like for example, under HR, they need to have a minimum how many times of training they need to conduct in a year. That actually is relevant to the minimum elements that we mentioned just now. So actually, I can say there are actually some things that you can combine under one plan. You can put under one document for all the objectives you just put into one plan. Okay, I hope that answer your questions, Julian. Okay, Kelson, how do FSSC 20,000 or BRCGS auditors evaluate food safety culture during audits, and what practical evidence are they really looking for? Okay, good questions, Kelson. Yes, thank you for your questions. Yeah, I would say that for FSSC or BRCGS auditors, right, they are actually looking for the food safety and quality culture plan. Okay, and at the same time, right, they are also looking at the food safety and quality culture objective. They are looking at the food safety policy, and when they go to on-site, right, they might also looking for the real practices that they are doing, whether they understand or not. What are they doing? Okay. Hadi mentioning about last time our external auditor mentioned that the elements should be different from food safety and quality objective. Can you comment more on this. Should be different element. Okay, so actually we'll see what are the elements that you put in your food safety and quality culture objective first. Okay, if like for example, if your food safety and quality objective, okay, actually they are the one who are not relevant to the element that we mentioned just now. Actually, you can set up your food safety and quality objective based on, food safety and quality culture objective based on that minimum element that we have mentioned just now: communication, training, and then after that employee feedback, and then performance measurement. And perhaps you can come up with two, or maybe for example HR, you can come up with another element for HR, and then maybe you can put like for example turnover rate objective, something like that. But for food safety and quality culture objective, you need to make sure that you have something related to training. Okay, it's something related to training. So you can actually you can put it separately, or you can put it in one plan. You can put in one plan but with a different objective. Okay, then Peggy wants narrow how to let our conservative boss to focus more about FSSC. Okay, what you mean you want to let them understand about this food safety FSSC? Is it? I would say that actually your boss, the management is very important in this food safety management system, especially FSSC. Perhaps you can tell them, okay, what is the leadership about, what is the commitment that they need to have, and then you can give them a structure on how important the leaders in this FSSC, so that they can focus on this FSSC by doing those relevant, by establish the relevant vision and mission that can help in your FSSC and also can help in the food safety management system. Okay, so I hope today you get something, okay, from today's training. From today's webinar. So before we end our webinar, here's a wrap up. Okay, to prevent your next audit from becoming a scramble, we have developed a 5R food safety culture questionnaire. Very simple. You just need to scan the QR code here. It's just a 2-minute self check out whether your food business is working towards ISO 20000 or FSSC 20000. It also can help you to uncover the blind spots in your team habits, leadership, alignment, and also daily behaviors that SOP often miss. Okay, so before you can do it before your audit, okay, so that it's not being raised up in your next external audit. So feel free to download, okay, before 25th of June. Okay, here also actually includes a follow-up with tailored expert suggestion. You can scan the QR code here to access the tools, and then you can start to control your food safety culture. All right. Okay, so before I end the webinar today, all right, so just to let you all know that actually on 16th of June, we are hosting a free 1-hour webinar. So this webinar actually is about quality management system, unlocking compliance, productivity, and ROI in just 1 hour time. You can know how to digitize clause 7.5, okay, without further chaos. So you also can scan this QR code to register yourself. It's having a limited seats as well. You can scan the QR code or click the link in the chat to register. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, okay, for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you with us, and we truly appreciate your time and so participation. Okay, I hope that you'll find these sessions valuable and also insightful. So keep an eye on our follow-up email. It will be included in the slides and webinar recording. Until next time, take care, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thank you.